Welcome sports fans, welcome back to the Standout Sports TV, the place where you guys come to get the best, most entertaining and riveting sports topics, discussions and debates on the internet. Before we get into the analysis though, don't forget to like this one, leave a comment, subscribe to the Standout Sports TV, and do one more thing for us though, and that's to share the video. Share the video to 10 people, but ensure to get to 6 subscribers, because if each and every one of you guys can manage to do that, do you know how many subscribers that would get us by the end of the day? Yes people, and this is a post-game analysis of the quarterfinals, the 2 round of 16 game that I went to today at the Stadium Eastfield. 2 games played. That was JC and Calabar in the first round of 16 game there, and then KC played Hydel. Remember, Hydel went to the final last year, supposed to be a really good team this year. In the second game, KC versus Hydel. We're going to talk about both of them. We're going to do some analysis. Both of them going to some players for look out for and all of that. And the truth is, with these analysis, may I make sure say every time we go a game we do analysis, because what I have come to realize is that if you're not paying for Sportsmax 2, or you're not there at the game, you don't know what's going on. You get me? I say just have a look on the scoreline, you know who dominated, you know who are the players to look out for, you know which team are bully, you know which team are underdog, you just don't know. You get me? I say so. May I do them post-game analysis here of the games that I go to, just to make sure so I know what's going on. Know the players to look out for, know the teams to look out for. And you know, show off me football analytical football brain a little bit. You get me? I say so. Let's talk about the first game, and that is JC versus Calabar. Obviously, coming into this game, JC did well in the group stage. Coming into this game, Calabar finished second in their group. JC finished first in their group. Everybody dubbed JC to be, you know, making a pushback for the title. JC won 2 years ago. Never make it to the final last year, and them a come back for win this year. Obviously, Davian Ferguson and Raymond Watson and all of those guys up there doing a phenomenal job in terms of, you know, getting talent into the school and playing good attractive football and scoring goals and all of that. But I think JC started this game well, ended the game poorly. So let's get right into it. Alright, so I arrived at this game late and I missed 3 goals. But based on what we gather, JC started the game well. Calabar started the game well, but Calabar kept making defensive mistakes. You get me? I say both teams were trying to go through the midfield. I don't know why them insist in the second half. JC changed to a little bit more wing play, which is why them put Giovanni Taylor, which is normally their striker, on the wing. Them try to go down the wings, never quite did that work. But starting the game and in the first half especially, both teams tried to penetrate through the middle. They know that they have good midfields, and both teams were trying to utilize the midfield that they have. Nullified each other for the most part. And this game was really a 3-3 game. You get me? Say if you ask me, JC, they were dominating for parts of the game. Calabar, they were dominating for parts of the game. Calabar were chasing, JC were chasing for parts of the game. You get me? I say Calabar took their opportunities, JC pounced on the mistakes that Calabar made. Calabar would tell you that the three goals that they conceded were mistakes by their defenders and their goalkeeper. You get me? I say while JC just have defensive breakdown, Calabar get good chances and Calabar score them goal. You get me? I say so I can't knock Calabar upon that. JC on the other hand, I think JC have to do better. So let's get into the game. As I said, JC started with, you know, a lot of players that we know. Nashard Gibbs, Giovanni Taylor, Jamali Bennett. They were missing Dylan John. Here's some personal issues. They may get him back, they may not. But they started because they have a player that I'm going to talk about later in the analysis, which is Jamali Bennett. They opted to play the ball out. We know JC are going to play with the football. So they tried to start from the goalkeeper, get it to their defenders, get it to their midfielder, who had a lot of time in the middle of the park. He was trying to play the ball over the top and into the feet of their centre forward. Couldn't manage to turn, couldn't manage to get the ball out of his feet well enough before the Calabar defenders were on him. You see me? So they tried to utilize the space in the midfield that they were getting from Calabar, but they couldn't manage to utilize it well enough. Calabar on the other hand, Calabar on the same hand, were trying the same thing. You know, Calabar had a really good midfielder in the middle of the park, which is Marks, and I'm going to talk about him a little bit further down in the analysis. They were also trying to play out. I don't think their goalkeeper is quite as comfortable on his feet as the JC goalkeeper today. And weird enough, there are a few lingering stories, you know, about this game that I'm going to talk about. Injuries, players playing out of position and all of that. But yeah, the Calabar goalkeeper, I don't think he's not bad. From what I saw from him, he's a decent goalkeeper. I want to see more though, because I didn't see many saves, I didn't see many mistakes either. But on the ball, I'd like him to be a bit more comfortable at his feet. But whenever the ball came to their defenders, they were passing it into the midfield. The midfielders were turning, they were getting the ball into the channels. JC played more of a ball dominant style. Calabar more of a transition style. They waited to get the football and then they tried to hit, on the break. That's what Calabar tried to do, and it worked, in their favor a lot of the times. Who had more chances? I'd say Calabar had more chances. Calabar had better chances, but JC pounced on the mistakes that Calabar made. Now the strengths of each team, both of them have strong midfields. I think Calabar defended better than this showed. I swear to God, Calabar defenders were really good. Apart from the individual mistakes that they made, their defenders were good. JC on the other hand, I think they can do better. I honestly think JC is a better team than this. I'm talking to a few people because I was like, JC better than this, right? I even asked the coach, you better than this, right? Because it was just a poor showing overall from a team that you expect to be there in the finals. Let's call a spade a spade. We expect JC to be there when it's all said and done. You see me? So wasn't a good showing on that part. But as I said, JC ball dominant, try to play the football, try to put the ball on the ground, try to play over the top at times. Never quite worked for them. Then put Calabar under pressure, cause them to make some mistake, and make those mistakes cost them. You get me? I say Calabar now, they fought. They were gritty, man, and that's one thing I want to mention about this Calabar team. They had heart. And obviously the man them from Radio Zero would call himself Lions, and this was a lion-hearted performance. Calabar was, dare I say it, looked like beasts out there. They looked like, it's almost like they underplayed in the first half and then came out in the second half and just gave it everything that they had to give. You get me? I say, and Calabar looked like one of those teams that want to win at all costs. You get me? I say, so I applaud Calabar for that. They honestly didn't give up in that game. They tried their best, they tried their hardest. Coach Price made so many substitutions trying to get back the game, and then eventually he got some goals. Let's talk about Calabar a little bit. Obviously I talked about JC in terms of coming into this season. They would have been dubbed as one of the favorites. Calabar on the other hand, they're going through a transitional period, where they were poor for numerous years, and then they got Coach Andrew Price in, and he's trying to change the philosophy there. He's trying to change the football there. He's trying to change the results there. And there, I said, every year they've been making steps towards ultimately, being a contender for the Manning Cup. I have to say that. Obviously, this is his third year there. His first year, I don't think he made it out of the group stage. The second year, he made it. Did he make it? I think he made it to the second round. And this year, he's in the round of 16. And I think they will be one of the two teams that will make it out of this group. Honestly, St. Catherine is a good team, but I'm going to pick Calabar to make it out of this group along with JC. Now, Coach Price, I must say I applaud him, because Calabar is one of those teams that they don't recruit a lot. They believe in homegrown talent. They believe in the players that come to this school from grade 7 or players that transfer in, maybe because they want to play football or whatever, but they don't believe in going out and looking for players and searching for players and giving sports scholarships and all of that and getting players from overseas to come. Calabar don't believe in that. Calabar believe in getting the players from early stages and groom them to be really good footballers. You get me? And I have to give Coach Price some adulation for that. He's done well in the 2 years. I think last 2 years, yes, they made steps forward, but I expected a coach like Andrew Price to make bigger steps. Obviously Calabar is coming from a place where we are talking about getting dumped up. We are talking about not being really good in terms of the Manning Cup stage, but this year they seem to be a contender. They seem to be pushing the better teams in this competition. I expect Calabar to continue to use that strength and grit and that never say die attitude to go forward in the competition. I want to speak about a few players before I round up the Calabar JC game. This game finished 3-3. As I said, I think it would be 2 points lost for JC and a 1 point gain for Calabar. Coming into this game, Calabar were the underdogs, and they barked very loudly. So, players that I want to mention for JC, Jamali Bennett, this number 8 in the middle of the park. He's their star man. He's the player that they are looking to create things for them. He's a deep lying midfielder. He's their He's their number 6. He's defensive. He's good on the ball. He slows the game down to his pace, but he works hard. Jamali Bennett have a lot of talent. Can pick a pass. Very, very good player. I want you guys to look out for the number 8 from JC, Jamali Bennett. Giovanni Taylor had a quiet game, I believe. He wasn't having a good game. He didn't play. Giovanni Taylor is normally JC's centre forward. Saw him drifting out wide a lot of the times, and I spoke to Coach Raymond Watson after the game, and he said that they didn't have their one of their starting wingers, so they asked Giovanni Taylor to start on the wing rather than playing as centre forward, and I think he just wasn't having a good game. Really talented player. You could see whenever him get the ball, the touches are good, but him just never take up the game like how I expect him to take up the game. Honestly, you can see him have quality, but this was just not his day. And on a day like this, what I look for in players that I know are good players is whenever the game is not going your way, find a way to impact the game, man. Whether it's defensively, whether it's get back and help your winger, help your left back if you're a left winger, or your right back if you're a right winger. Whether it's coming deep for the ball and just trying something. Show some effort, show some heart, show some fight. And I don't think Giovanni Taylor showed that today. As I say, one of the poorest games I've seen him play in a while. But still a very talented player. I think his attitude on the park could be a bit better. Too much walking for me, too much complaining for me. But talented player. I'm expecting for the better, especially in the other games. I expect him to take it up a notch. Nashada Gibbs got the ball on the wing a lot. Didn't do much with it, but he was showing sparks. Not the best game. All the one from JC, not a lot of players stood out. But hey, that is from the JC side of things. Also, JC was missing their goalkeeper today. I think maybe somebody has him injure himself. I don't know how that happened, but yeah. Wayne Lynch was not in goal today. Actually had a defender in goal, and maybe that is why the passing and the footwork looks so good from the goalkeeper in a JC today. He was passing the ball. He never afraid to control the ball and knock it round. You see me? But all things being equal, Wayne Lynch should be back for the rest of the games. But that's as far as it go. As I say, Jamali Bennett the only JC player who I really can say stand out today that had a good game. Other than that, not many more players to talk about. And the Calabar handle, I have to talk about a few players. I think we have at least 3 players I want to talk about. The first one is the captain, the number 14, O'Brien Marks, top player. Number 14 for Calabar, top player. Really good with the ball. His passes when I just arrived at the game, his passes were a bit wayward. It almost seemed like as a midfielder, I want to get rid of the ball too quick. He want to take the first pass with him, and that is not something where excite me whenever I'm watching midfielders. But as the game went on, it's almost like somebody tell him or realize, yo, this game is actually not that hard to win. Maybe somebody look on him and say, yo, them man is better than you or something. Sometimes I encourage players and them take them game up. I think maybe somebody said something to him. Maybe it be Coach Price or one of them teammates. He's the captain, or maybe it's just his leadership skills coming out, where he realized that, yo, I need to turn up the game, and him turn it up. O'Brien Marks, he had one of the goals too. Did really well today. I have to mention that player. As I say, touch is good. He works hard in the midfield. He controls the tempo of the game. So I look forward for watch him a bit more in this competition. And the other player I want to mention is Jaime Rankin. And that's the man they call Saka. That man the bad brother. He have a piece of left foot on him. He also scored today, by the way. I think he scored the 3rd equalizing goal. That got the game to 3-3. Rankin, really good player. Wicked left foot. Have speed upon him. Tricky player. He did well today for Calabar, and I must applaud him. The defenders for Calabar, as I said, they did well, but I'm not going to single out of them. Like that, Smith, Nemard, Pusey, Edwards, all of them, they did well today. But I'm not going to necessarily say. And you can see 3 goals at the end of the day. You get me? I say about Rankin, I have to mention Marks, and the third player I want to mention is Franquisio Reid. That player is a baller. He's also a midfielder, as a number 8. One of those players. He's one that doesn't rush to get rid of the ball. And as a midfielder, your timing is everything. Knowing when to play the pass and knowing the way to pass the play. And I think he has that down. He knows the way to pass. His passes aren't often over it. And he was playing in the midfield today. And he was one of the players that dominated for Calabar. He was one of the players that got them back into the game. So, as I say, big up to Franquisio Reid, O'Brien Marks, and the man them call Saka Rankin. You see me? As I say, for the JC game, that's as far as it got. JC came into the game with a lot of injuries. Had players playing out of position. Had a defender playing in goal. Had their starting centre forward playing on the left wing. A lot of things happened to the JC. Didn't play to the quality I expect JC to have. But not an excuse. You're under par. The players that are under par should be good enough, especially JC is a team that we expect to have, you know, 2 starters in every position. And so I'm not really tolerate the excuse that you would have injuries and all of that, because JC is supposed to have the biggest talent pool in the competition. So JC didn't turn up as the usual JC that we expected, but Calabar showed heart, they showed fight, they you know, showed some grit, and they fought all the way to the end of the game, and they salvaged a 3-3 draw. JC was Calabar was never leading in the game, I think. Yeah, Calabar was never leading in the game, but they always fought and they came back. That's as far as the Calabar game go. Now to the second game, which was just a beat down. It was Kingston College versus Hydel. That game ended 6-1. My. Let me get the starting lineup to make sure we can highlight the players I really want to highlight. But the thing with the Manning Cup is that you always get some players that are going to stand out that we should look out for. Because that's ultimately what it's about. You know? Obviously, most of the players in the Manning Cup are not going to make it to the next level. But we want that 1 or 2 that we can say, oh, push him. You know, get the people to know his name, get the people to know his face, see him journey. Who knows? We've had people tell us, say, or channel them see certain people. You get me? I say, so that is what we want to do. That is what we want get players out there and share the story about these players and these teams. You see it? So, KC versus Hydel. This was a weird game for me. I'm going to start on the Hydel side. It was clear to me that Hydel didn't have a great team. They are not a very deep team. They had about 4 or 5 players returning, but man, it didn't look good. Hydel had stints in the game where they had the ball. Yeah, they got into dangerous positions, not clinical enough, and just don't have as many really good players in the attacking position and in the defensive position. I can tell that Hydel is not very deep because the game started and their captain, who we know is Ronaldo Bennett, who were the number 8 last year and fought Denzel McKenzie very hard for that MVP spot. In fact, you know, I think we said that he's the man of the competition, the most valuable player. But he came into this season, you know, his second Manning Cup season, coming to dominate. He's been playing well. But this game, man, the man started a centre back, and that told me that this Hydel team is not very deep. I start me watch the game, I say, alright, I see him, I hear him, I say, alright, I see him after this season, because he's supposed to be better. I think he's 18 years old now. He's supposed to be better. He's supposed to be a bit more mature, play a full season in the JPL, part of Cavaliers roster. I expect him to be, you know, a bit mature and bigger than the game, and he did show that he's bigger than the game. He was the best Hydel player in the park, but he started at centre back. Then he moved into the midfield. Once 2 goals scored, he moved up into the midfield. And then towards the end of the game, when it was the 3 and the 4 and the 5s and the 6, he was playing centre forward. And he scored today. He got a penalty. He scored a penalty today. But that told me that this Hydel team is not very deep. And they don't cover themselves with quality all over the park. The strength in their team is their midfield. And that's where they retain, dare I say, their 2 best or 2 of their 3 best players from last season. That be Keanu Jackson and Ronaldo Barrett. Their midfield was really good. I think they won the midfield battle in a weird way. Yes, they didn't get to create as many chances as they wanted to. They took a lot of shots from outside the box from those midfielders because their forwards just weren't making the right runs. Whenever they got the ball, they lost the ball. So the midfield had to win the ball literally, or take the ball off their defenders, or win the ball from KC's midfield, try to progress the ball, and then be on the end of passes and taking shots, which is weird. So Hydel not a very deep team, but Hydel was trying to play through the midfield. They were trying to get their strong players on the ball. Barrett, Jackson, they were trying to get them on the ball. They tried to get Henry in the game, which was also another senior player from last year. Played well, scored a couple goals. They were trying to get those players on the ball. You know, KC denied them a bit, but whenever they got the ball, they tried to make things happen. But the runs were just not there to get the ball out of the midfield. And Hydel defensively was just poor. And let's use that as a segue to talk about Kingston College. As I say, Hydel tried to play in the midfield, trying to get the ball to their good players as fast as possible and get those players to create something for them. Never quite happened. Now, KC on the other hand, my, this is obviously this is the first game I watch KC, but KC, this may be the most clinical I've seen KC in maybe over 5, 6, 7, 8 years. You get me? I said this is one of the most clinical KC teams I have ever seen. And trust me, I've been watching KC. And them never have them Mario Daly today. Them never have them most lethal striker. Them never have them leading goal scorer. But they managed to score 6 goals from Hydel today. I may tell you, I wouldn't be surprised if KC took 7 shots or 8 shots and scored 6 goals. Honestly, that's how clinical this team was today. In terms of their style of play and the way they wanted to play, KC was also going through the midfield. But they used their wingers to good effect. They tried to get the ball over in behind the Hydel defense a lot. Hydel was playing a very high line to my surprise. But KC got in behind a lot. KC dribbled, used their wingers to dribble past, take on the wing backs from Hydel. And whenever they beat them and got across into the box, there was a goal. KC scored their first goal from a set play across into the box. And a headed goal. Then the goals just started coming. But yeah, KC tried. They switch it up a bit. KC is obviously not a ball dominant team, and we've never known KC to be a ball dominant team. Maybe that 1 year with Christopher Pearson, but other than that, KC is a transition team. KC is a team that is going to get the ball up the pitch as fast as possible and try to punish her. And that's what they tried to do today. Not tried, they did it very well today. You know, Hydel just couldn't put anything in front of KC that could have stopped them. You know, the Hydel defenders and players were smaller than KC. They were slower than KC. And they just couldn't stop how clinical KC was in front of goal. You see me? So that's as far as the two teams and their style of play go. As I say, they're trying to get the ball into the midfield to Barrett and Jackson and all those players as fast as possible to transition out. They tried, but there was just not many things to do. Barrett and Jackson just try dribble through the field and I try make something, man. It just couldn't happen. KC style of play was more get the ball into their midfield, but also spreading the ball wide, using their captain Beckham as a left back, as a right back, using Zimenez as a left back, and getting the ball, you know, in those channels and in the wing channels and playing out there and getting crosses into the box and people being on the end of those crosses and flooding the box. That was ultimately what I saw from the two teams. Alright, let's talk about some standout players and then make a round the top. Feel like me I talk forever, but hey, the show must go on. As far as the Hydel team go, as I say, I think I highlighted these players already. Jackson, Barrett, and Henry. They also had small Allen. You know, I'm gonna call him Allen. Andrew Allen. You know Andrew Allen. The man where is a terror, brother. The man there is like a little ants, a little turn on the side that anybody will play against. He was one of the defenders today. I think he had a decent game, to be honest, but he's just so small, and at this level, brother, you have to be bigger, you have to be strong, you have to be fast, and he's just maybe fast, but none of the other two things. Barrett played well. Barrett got on the score sheet. Barrett, everything good that Hydel came to either Barrett or Keanu Jackson. That's my honest opinion. Everything good that happened for Hydel was either a set play from Jackson, or Barrett making a run, or Barrett playing a true pass, or Barrett putting the ball over the top, or something. It was always Barrett and Jackson. So I'll group them into one and say that they were good for the most part. Their touches were good. They worked hard, but as the game started to get away from them just drift up the park and try to get the ball further up the pitch and create things further up the pitch. On the KC side of things, there are a few players that I want to mention. The first one I'm going to mention, brother. The first player I'm going to mention, and people remember this name. I'm going to butcher the name. I'm not going to pronounce the name well, but hey, remember this name. It is Kist Paul. It's Kvist Paul. We literally have to go to somebody and ask him. I say, in the middle of the game, I say, who the number 4 there? I've never seen him in the Manning Cup. Maybe him there KC for a year, sit out, whatever. Kist Paul. He's a defender. He's a centre back. He's about 6 feet 4 inches. He's quicker than lightning. Him strong. Him not make mistake. Him head every ball. He is a special defender. I'm talking about the best in the Manning Cup. I'm not see much of the Manning Cup yet, but I'm going to say he's one of the best in the Manning Cup just because I can't think about how good somebody have to be better than him right now. That man, although I didn't pose many threats to him, the man was just showing everything him do. You can see the confidence, you can see the passes so accurate. And I have to put this on top of it. Kist Paul is from Guyana, so it seemed like KC do some recruiting. But special player. 2 players actually came in from Guyana. Me here, Kist Paul and the number 10, which is Matthew Martin. 2 players KC recruited from Guyana. But Kist Paul, man, special player. I didn't see the best of Martin today. I think he can play better based on what I hear people say and based on the touches I see him get. You can tell when players are baller. Kist Paul, I think, yo, that player there. Film name I got there at the end of the season when we attack. But team of the season and all of that. He's one of the best players in the Manning Cup. I know that for sure. Just from just watching 2 games and 4 teams today. I can tell. Well, more watch bits and pieces of the Stats and Wolmer's games. So I watch 6 teams now. In the last 16 teams. And I can tell you Cbar are one of the best defenders in the Manning Cup. I can tell you that straight up and down. Anyways, let's get up the field. Kimani Reese, as I say, Beckham, he played well on the right wing. He led his team very maturely. You get me? I say he did well. He got off the ball in the latter parts of the game. You can see him I try to get forward and I try to make something happen. But that man, they can't get tired. Him can't get tired. Kimani Reese, Beckham, the number 7 for KC, the winger, number winger, the wing, the left, the right back, the captain can't get tired. Kimani Reese. Dujan Green also a good player in the midfield. We're in the number 8. When we see him with the 2 band them on him and really good player. He was composed in the middle of the park today. Played at his pace. Him not gonna make many sprints, but whenever the ball came to him, he was tired. He got the ball out fast enough. But I think the standout players as I go up the park now was number 19, and not even standout players. It's standout player was number 19, and that is Deshaun Byfield. He's been playing Manning Cup for a couple of years. I think this is his 3rd year if I'm not mistaken. Deshaun Byfield got on the score sheet a couple of times today, and he was just clinical. I don't think he missed a shot today. He was just clinical. His dribbling was really good. His shots were sure. It's not no fumble goal. It's not no mistake goal. He nowhere to be in the box. He knows where to be in the box. He knows how to find the space in the box. He knows how to run off players. Top player, man. He was filling in a centre forward today. Demar Daly was not playing. You know, KC usual number 9. Deshaun Byfield, top player. Touches were good. He's quick player, skillful player, and a clinical player. I ask him how much goal him depend to them. Say 19 in the round of 16. So you know how much more games you have to play. So top player. Very good performance, very sure performance from Deshaun Byfield. Man of the match, congrats to him. Who else I can mention? Sharif Ricketts played good, the number 13. He also played as one of the attackers. He played well. Demani Smith, the man them called Messi, he was on and off. He was on and off. He had some good moments. He lost the ball a bit too much for my liking, but you know, he tried and gave a valiant effort. But overall, this team was this KC team, and we just have to talk about how clinical this team is right now. And Coach Vasselman asked him where much attribute that to, and I don't know. Him just say, oh, them clinical. I don't know if I put it down to me. I talk about the man. It's almost like every time KC get in a Hydel box, them score. Every single time. That's mean say them switch it up so you couldn't plan for them. They may have got through the midfield, but them also put the ball over the top to the wingers and get in the channels. And whenever the ball came into the box, goal. So look out for those players, people. The point, as I said, the point of these analysis, the point of this analysis, and for the other analysis that I'm going to do, not just me, but me and Joe Mar, is to highlight the teams and players that you should look out for. Come on, understand that when you get to crunch time in the competition, these are the teams you expect to be at the end. That is it. Anyways, solid 30 minutes me a chat for you, dog. Straight, you know. I don't even drink no water, you know. Drink some water. Yeah, I water this though. Yeah, I drink some water. Don't tell me say I can water, people. Not sponsored by water. Anyways, so I don't know why I show this. I tear off a sticker. Yeah, I'll be that. Anyways, people, if you like the video, if you like the analysis, if you want to see more of these videos, don't forget to like the video, leave a comment and subscribe to this side at Sports TV. And the one more thing, which is to share the video to 10 people, get us 6 subscribers. Because if each and every one of you guys can manage to do that, do you know how many subscribers that will get us by the end of the day? For now, people, I'm gone.